Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lola for those of you who are new, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. Thank you guys for all the love, thank you for all the comments, thank you for everything. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a video that was requested by one of my subscribers actually, and she asked me to make a video about porosity, and this is a topic that a lot of people tend to ask me about, so I figured I should just make like a dedicated video so that I can just direct everybody to this video. I promise you at the end of this video, you're going to have an idea what your hair's porosity is, and I'm going to be teaching you like the proper way to moisturize your hair depending on your hair's porosity, because I feel like this is very important. After my second big chop, this was one of the things that changed in my hair routine. I determined what my hair's porosity was, which was something I never really knew or understood before, and this has just guided me better when it comes to like product selection, the techniques I use to moisturize my hair, and just so many things that have helped my hair like thrive. So I'm definitely going to be sharing all of that with you guys today. So let's jump right into the video. Okay, so before I start this video, I'd just like to quickly explain a little bit about porosity. Porosity is pretty much your hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture. So it's pretty much how well your hair can like absorb moisture and how well your hair does in like keeping the moisture. So your hair keep the moisture in for a long time or does it lose it quickly? There are three major types of porosity levels that are out there, and that's normal to medium porosity, low porosity, or high porosity. So there are different ways to determine what the porosity of your hair is, and I think this is where a lot of people struggle because they don't know how to know their porosity, and I'm going to be going into that later because there are quite a few tests out on the internet that people do, although I do not agree with all of them. But like I said, I'll be discussing that later. I'm just going to be explaining to you guys the characteristics pretty much of the different types of hair porosity levels or different types of hair porosities. So let's start with low porosity hair because that's the type of hair that I have. The thing about low porosity hair is that the cuticle layers are very tightly bound, and this type of hair I just like to call it selfish because it doesn't like to let anything in and it doesn't like to let anything out. So the thing is, it struggles with getting moisture in and it also struggles with letting the moisture out, and I feel like this is a good and a bad thing because once you can get your hair to be moisturized, then you're kind of assured that the moisture is going to stay in your hair, because like I said, it takes a long time for like this type of hair to allow the moisture out, you know. It doesn't want to let anything out either. So that's pretty much it about low porosity hair. Like, it's pretty straightforward. Doesn't want to let moisture in, doesn't want to let moisture out. Now let's go to high porosity hair. The thing about high porosity hair is that it easily absorbs moisture, but then it easily loses it as well. So people with this hair type always complain that their hair is always dry, even though they are always moisturizing, because their hair tends to easily lose moisture. And that's why it's important for this hair type to always seal in the moisture so that you don't lose it as quickly. And then there's obviously medium to normal porosity hair, where their hair just absorbs the right amount of moisture, doesn't lose it easily. If you have that porosity, good for you, because I don't think you understand the struggle at all. Now moving on to the tests, or like the ways you can know like your hair's porosity. I think the most common test out there is the float test, which a lot of people do, which is when you get a cup of water and then you put like a strand or whatever of your hair inside, and if it floats on the top, it's low porosity. If it stays in the middle, it's medium. If it goes to the bottom, it's high. Bullshit. Like, honestly, I think that test is just bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, to me, it's such a flawed test. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like hair would naturally just float in water, and I feel like there's so many other factors that would determine whether your hair floats or sinks in a cup of water, that it just is not enough to use one strand of hair to judge your entire head of hair. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm so sorry. Also, the ends of your hair tend to be the parts of your hair that are mostly higher in porosity, and a lot of people test those parts of their hair. So obviously you're going to be getting high porosity results if you're testing the ends of your hair. And also, if your hair is not clean, if there's products in it, you know, there's so many factors that can change the results of this test. So I really feel like it's not the best way to know your porosity at all. To me, the best way to know your porosity is to study your hair. It's really that simple. A few characteristics that low porosity hair has that makes it stand out, and one of it being that it does not get wet easily. Like, it takes a long time to soak. I'm going to try to make demo videos that will attach this video just so you guys can understand what I'm saying better. But my hair is low porosity, and personally, when I put water on my hair or spray water on my hair, all you're just going to see are beads of water sitting on top of my hair. That's because, like I said, the cuticle layers are so short. Water is just going to stay on top of my hair and it's not going to penetrate at all. Whereas when it comes to high porosity hair, you find that you just spray your hair with water and it just gets like wet, it soaks like almost immediately. So that's one of the quickest ways to tell whether your hair is high porosity or low porosity. Is really that simple. And this test is called the H2O test, I believe. And there's also another test I've read somewhere, I believe it's called the slip and slide test, where you take like a strand of your hair and I think you slide your fingers up and down. I'm going to leave links down below to some of these tests so you guys can go check them out and do a couple just to kind of see what your hair is saying, you know. But I feel like the best way to know is really to just watch your hair, watch how it reacts to product, watch how it reacts to water, like just observe your hair. That's really the best way to know, period. When it comes to moisturizing, it's very important to know your hair's porosity because different methods work best for different porosity levels. For example, being low porosity, I find that the LCO method works best for me. And after going to do a bunch of research, I've discovered why. And the explanation pretty much is that because your hair does not absorb moisture easily, when you do the LCO method, you're pretty much putting the L, which is liquid or the leave-in in your hair to moisturize it. Now, assuming your hair is not going to really absorb that, you know, then you're going to add a cream just to make sure that there's an extra level of moisture because like I said, this hair type doesn't really want moisture, you know, it just wants to be dry, but we're not going to let it we're not going to let it be dry. We're going to make sure it's as moisturized as possible. And then after adding the cream for just an extra layer of moisture, you're going to go ahead and seal everything with an oil, as opposed to high porosity hair. Now high porosity hair, like I said, it loses moisture really quick. So after you put your leave-in or your liquid, you want to seal it in first with oil because you know, okay, this hair type can easily lose that leave-in layer. So let me seal it first with oil and then back it up with another cream to even seal it in more, because when you put the leave-in, you are just assuming that okay, my hair's high porosity, so it's absorbed all the moisture and my hair is not moisturized. So all you're pretty much trying to do at that point is seal. So you go ahead and you seal with an oil and then you just put a cream as an extra like protective layer, you know. Whereas the LCO method, you are double moisturizing in a way. I don't know if this makes sense, I hope it does, but you're double moisturizing with a leave-in and then a thicker cream just to make sure that your hair is really moisturized, and then you're going to go ahead and seal all of this in with an oil. One of the things that has really helped me with my low porosity hair is steam. When I first went natural, I did not include steam in any way in my natural hair journey. I was just deep conditioning with a like plastic bag over my head and a towel. But now I actually have a steam cap that I use, and this is what it looks like. And what steam or heat does for low porosity hair is that it pretty much opens up your cuticle layer, and this just helps your hair to like absorb product better. So most times when I'm deep conditioning, I do my steam cap on. When I do my LCO method sometimes as well, I also put my steam cap on for like 10 minutes just so like product gets into my hair properly. This is a game changer, honestly. Using steam will just open a new level for you. Like you find that your hair is a lot softer, it's a lot more moisturized, and it stays moisturized for a longer period of time. So steam has really been a great game changer for me. When it comes to high porosity hair, another thing that this hair type can benefit greatly from are protein treatments. The reason for this is because protein treatments, pretty much what they do is that they fill up those gaps in your cuticle layer. So if you have high porosity hair, protein treatments can be a great thing to include in your regimen, although you want to be really careful because there is something called protein overload. People with low porosity hair are more like prone to getting protein overload, but I think the right balance of moisture and protein is very necessary. So protein treatments can be very helpful because they will help to fill in those gaps in your cuticle layer and just help your hair, like, you know, retain moisture a lot more. So that's why protein treatments can work well for high porosity hair, as opposed to low porosity hair where protein treatments can really be a very dicey thing to do. So protein overload is not a fun thing to go through at all. Another thing I'd like to mention is that there are certain things that can actually change your hair's porosity, and those are things like dyes, using heat, even over manipulation, brushing your hair like when it's dry. All of these things can damage your hair and they can even alter your hair's porosity. So you want to be very wary of doing things like that. One last tip I'd give, especially for low porosity hair, is to always moisturize on damp hair. Not soaking wet, but at least damp hair, because your hair just absorbs more moisture when it's damp. I don't know why anybody would moisturize on dry hair, because I don't know, you're not really doing anything. And oils are not a moisturizer. I see lots of people putting oils on their dry hair without spritzing it with water first. What you're doing is pretty much just locking the dryness into your hair more, and it's counterproductive. It doesn't make any sense. So always ensure to like spray a little bit of water on your hair before moisturizing. I personally like to use warm water. Like I said, heat does open up your cuticle layer, so I like to spray my hair with a bit of warm water before I go in and moisturize. So these are pretty much the differences between low porosity and high porosity hair. I know a lot of people fall like in like in these two categories. I don't really know a lot of people with medium to normal porosity hair, but people with that hair type, they're just lucky. Most of them can get away with just doing the Elo method, leaving an oil, and they're good. Their hair stays moisturized for a very good amount of time. So yeah, I really hope this video was helpful to you guys. It's just a really quick video to try and highlight the differences between the different types of hair porosities. If there's anything I forgot to include in the video, I'll definitely include it as the video goes along, and I'll leave helpful links in the description as well. If you guys like to see any more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and become part of the family, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.